Brexit could create a brand new crisis for Nicola Sturgeon and the Scottish Government, a senior official has said. The Scottish Government's Constitution Secretary Michael Russell said proposals to enshrine a UK internal market after Brexit would seriously undermine devolution. He branded the controversial proposals a power grab on responsibilities which are currently held by Holyrood. In a letter to Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove, Mr Russell said he is concerned about proposals for an external body which would test whether a bill in Holyrood affected the UK's internal trade market. The letter also details concerns about plans for a mutual recognition regime, which he said could lower regulatory standards beyond what the Scottish Parliament found acceptable. Mr Russell stressed that the proposals which are yet to be formally published ignore the reality and history of devolution and would be opposed by the Scottish Government. It comes following major concerns that the UK government may compromise on regulatory standards in pursuit of trade deals. It comes as the deadline to extend the Brexit transition period with the EU ended at the end of last month despite a deadlock over a level playing field on trade regulations which is yet to be solved. Discussing the letter, the MSP and senior SNP member said, "The Tories know they can't win an election to the Scottish Parliament, so have come up with a scheme to undermine it instead. They are plotting, in an underhand manner, to introduce a new law which would effectively hand power to Tory ministers in devolved policy areas, under the guise of protecting what they call the so-called UK internal market after Brexit. Under their plans, if Westminster adopts lower standards in devolved areas, Scotland could be forced to accept them, regardless of the view of our Parliament." Mr Russell stressed the Scottish Government was considering setting up an unelected oversight body which would be responsible for setting up a new internal market test for any new Holyrood legislation. Mr Russell continued in the letter, "If this law had been in force, our ability to keep tuition free for students in Scotland while charging students from the rest of the UK, to set a minimum unit price for alcohol, or introduce a smoking ban before the rest of the UK could all have been in jeopardy. This scheme amounts to using Brexit as a cover to mount the biggest power grab on the Scottish Parliament yet, and we will do all we can to stop it from happening." However, Mr Gove accused him of trying to confect a political row with Westminster.